Hey guys, sorry I lost my intro, but today I am doing a review for you on the Kat Von D Lock It foundation. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So first impressions of this foundation is I really like the packaging of this. It's got like a plastic shell on the outside of the actual tube of foundation. So in comparison to my Born This Way foundation, that is the two together, they're both 30 fluid ounces. 30 fluid ounces, if it was 30 fluid ounces, it would be massive. So they are both 30 mils or 1 fluid ounce, and that is the size comparison between the two. The packaging of this is really pretty. It's got the beautiful kind of tattoo design around the edges. It's really pretty. I love that it has got a pump on it. That makes life so much easier. I love foundations with pumps. I think it is the best invention ever. I really hate a foundation that does not have a pump. It makes using it a pain in the butt, and I probably pick a foundation with a pump over one that doesn't, so that's a big thing for me. So yeah, I mean, first impressions, it's really pretty. The packaging is really lovely. So I grabbed the shade Light 48, which is for medium skin tones with beige undertones. I haven't tried this. I kind of swatched it a little bit on my arm compared to my Too Faced, and they are pretty close. I'm usually in the shade Nude for the Too Faced one, just for reference. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to try this. I have thrown some of the Nivea for Men post shave balm on underneath as a primer, just because that's a normal step for me. So I'm going to go through and throw this on my face. I'm going to pop it on. It came with a beauty blender, and I'm not really sure if I want to pop it on with a beauty blender for first try. I think I might pop it on with my... I'm going to pop it on with my Expert face brush from Real Techniques. So I'm just going to tie my hair all back and out of the way, and I'm going to go in. Let's hope this kind of semi-matches, because if it doesn't, I'm going to look like a crazy person. And I had a high neck shirt on before, and I decided to take that off because I thought that might make kind of blending it a little bit harder. I love this little pump. I probably put way too much on, but anyway. Pretty close match to my skin with tan on, which is good. The coverage is good. It is very similar, I would say, to my Too Faced foundation. If anything, once this is blended, it dries really quickly, whereas my Too Faced one, I kind of have a little bit of time. Because I've splattered this all over my face, I'm having a little bit of trouble blending it out. I mean, it's still blending, but it's a little bit harder than my Too Faced one. I feel like I'm really having to push it. Wow, that's super matte. And I'm just going to pop a little bit more on where I think, where I need a little bit more coverage. It like dries like so quickly. That's going to take a little while to get used to, because I'm so used to my foundations being able to move a little bit. My skin is feeling a little bit irritated at the moment. It's feeling a little bit tingly, a little bit, when you get a little bit of fluff on your face, you kind of get a little bit itchy, almost not like itchy, but you can tell that there's something. I just want to scratch it. It feels a bit odd. I'll just use the brush. So I'm going to go through and apply the rest of my foundation, and then I'm going to do my makeup, and then I will come back and have a chat to you once I'm all finished. So as you can see, I have finished all my foundation. I've done all my bronzer and I've done my brows and all that. I've got all my base on. I haven't done my eyes or my lips yet, but I wanted to have a chat to you guys about the foundation once I had popped it all on and finished it all off. So I've gone through and set kind of the normal T-zone areas that I would normally. It hasn't left me really cakey, which I was half expecting it to. I had to build up the coverage a little bit more around my face where I've got a couple more spots, and it hasn't gone that real cracks. You know, when you put on too much foundation, it gets that kind of crackle effect going on. It hasn't done anything like that. I really like the finish that it is given. It's matte, but it's not like super like on your face. Like it just, I can still feel like my skin is breathing a little bit. But I imagine that you can kind of build this up and you could get into cake territory really easily depending on how you choose to apply it. I used the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush as you saw, and that gave a really good finish with that. When I put it on, I had a little bit of itchy kind of tingling going on, but that has all gone away, and that only lasted a couple of minutes. The only thing that I have not particularly liked about the foundation, but it's not a dislike, it's just a way that I'm going to have to change the way that I apply my foundation. It sets really quickly, so if you're like me and you'd like to dot it all over your face and then blend it in, I would probably recommend just doing a small patch at a time and working your way around your face that way, because I did find it quite hard to blend once it had been sitting for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes or whatever. Like after I found, like by the time I'd done this side of my face had kind of set a little bit and it was a bit harder to move around. But I mean, that's just the way that I apply my foundation, so it's just a really small change that I could make, which is not going to affect the foundation in any way. It just means that I have to apply it differently. So I'm really liking this at the moment. I'm really surprised. I was really expecting it to be too full on, like I was expecting it to be like a big blanket of colour, but once you add a little bit of shape and everything like that, it gives a really nice finish. So I'm really impressed. The colour range of this is actually quite large as well. They carry a lot of tones to cater for all skin tones. I like that they have such a big range, because sometimes you get a foundation that you really like and the shades are quite limited. This is quite a large, they've got quite a large range, which I really like. Yeah, I definitely recommend you kind of search the net and just really, if you are like me, we don't have Sephora in New Zealand, so I had to purchase it from Sephora New Zealand, and they don't have any actual stores in New Zealand, so I kind of had to guess the tone. So I just went online and kind of compared swatches. I spent a decent amount of time trying to find the right shade for me, using foundation.com and just comparing foundations that I already own to find the right shade. So I definitely recommend you check out sites like that if you are looking to find the right shade, because it can be a little bit tricky because the range is so large in shades. But overall, I'm super impressed with this foundation. It is definitely something that I will be wearing quite a lot of, I'm sure, that especially this upcoming winter when I want a little bit more coverage and my skin's a little bit uneven. I'm really looking forward to using this. So that is that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed this and you found this helpful. I hope you have a really wonderful week. Take care and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.